What's up YouTube, Honeybee here, bringing you a new Mortal Kombat 11 video. The beta stress test has officially ended, unfortunately. So with that comes a lot of just reflecting and thinking about the game. A lot of us have had the chance to get our hands on it now, and you know, there's a lot of different impressions going around on what we think about this game. A lot of the top players have been pretty vocal about it on Twitter, and I thought I would just put together a video showcasing what a lot of us basically think, and I'll give some of my opinions as well. So with that said, let's do that video. So the first person that I wanted to cover, or the first group of people, are the twins, Ketchup and Mustard. If you don't know who they are, I'm a little bit surprised. You probably should by now. They're like really great commentators, have great content. You can definitely check out their YouTubes. You can follow them on Twitter. But either way, Ketchup, he said here after 2 days with MK11, here's my thoughts. Dashes need work, must be faster. I will just point out there that Ed Boon has tweeted out that the movement should be faster in like the final build of the game, or even potentially in the beta when that comes out in about, give or take, 2 weeks. So not too much worry there. Combos exist, just optimized. So he's basically touching upon like what a lot of people have said, which is MK11 doesn't have combos, blah blah blah. It definitely does. But yeah, I'll get into my opinions later. Some abilities make others feel obsolete, and crushing blow is beyond easy to keep track of. So he's saying like it's easy to keep track of the crushing blow, which is a good thing. The pace is fine. You have to think really hard now, which is good. Loving it so far. So those are Ketchup's thoughts. Let's move on to Mustard. So this is what Mustard has to say about the stress test. He has some pros and cons here. So yeah, early build, all opinions were made with a pinch of salt. So here we are. Pros. Crushing blow is an amazing mechanic that adds a welcome layer of strategy and resource management. Easily my favorite new mechanic. Custom variations will add a lot of replay value, hoping they enable it in competitive play. Netcode is the best I've played yet, super impressive. General pacing of the game is great, not too slow, but still rewards neutral heavy and calculated plays. All three characters felt strong. Excited to see if the rest of the roster feels the same. Music and sound effects are 10 out of 10, perhaps the best in an NRS game yet. So the cons he has is that the breakaway could use work, being punishable for getting hit if the defender breakaways feels wrong. Of all the new mechanics, this has me sold the least. So he's basically saying how there are situations where in the beta, for example, Scorpion would begin a combo, and if he's juggling you in the air and you break away falling out of his combo, but he cancels into a spear, he's just stuck in this like animation for the longest time, just like putting his arm out there so you can drop out of his combo and just easily get up and then just punish him for it. So yeah, Mustard saying how that's terrible, pretty much. No way of knowing which abilities are equipped in game, perhaps icon displayed on the HUD representing each ability somewhere. I think that's also a really good point. Still not a fan of the win-loss record and win percent chance being displayed. I understand that this is more of a casual feature, but I hope this is disabled for ranked modes to avoid ducking. Interesting thought. And we're going to continue in the EU territory and show what Irish Mantis has said. He says, my 3 suggestions that I think will already make this crazy fundamental game better can only break out once per game. So he's saying to make the breakaway mechanic only work once in an entire match. He says, make fatal blows and down twos death on whiff and block. The thing is, right now, fatal blows, some of the fatal blows are punishable, but they have a lot of pushback. Same thing goes for down twos. They have a lot of pushback. So it basically goes unpunished all the time. And Mantis is saying that he wants them easily punishable if they're whiffed or blocked. Switch up 2 and up 3 frames on flawless block reversal, so up 3 is faster, but keep up 2 faster on wake up. So I think he's saying that he wants, like if you flawless block and you reversal up 3, it's just faster than an up 2, so maybe it has more usefulness to it, because the up 2 is generally speaking the best way to reversal if you flawless block something, because you get a full combo from that. Up 3 you don't. And then he also says down here, I would also make up 2 on flawless block reversal cost all 4 of your bars. That's interesting because, you know, you can get a big combo, and he's basically saying that if you can do that, you should spend all your resources. Fuck it, while I'm here, make pokes more minus on block. So those are his first impressions on the stress test. Next up we have Burrito Voorhees. He had a bunch of stuff to say here in terms of just changing frames for down ones and stuff, because right now in the stress test, a lot of people are saying that you were able to like kind of mash out pokes a little bit too much, and so he wants to make the frames probably more negative in general. He wants down twos to have no pushback so you can punish them easier. Jump kicks should be nerfed, so he wants like the jump attacks to be slightly weaker. Throws shouldn't beat attacks, so he wants the priority of throws to go down, because sometimes like if someone attacks and you throw at the same time, you'll just like grab them anyways. Dive kick interactables should either use all offensive meter or use no bar but have way more whiff recovery and not be plus on block. There's the Monk stage. If you go off the side interactable and you dive kick off of it, it's like, it was kind of busted. Right now, it's like super good. And yeah, he basically wants that toned down. Flawless block into reversal up 2 should cost all your offense defense bars. So that's the same thing that my Irish Mantis was saying. Flawless block option selects should be removed somehow. For those of you that don't know what that means, it's like you can kind of like, if there's a string with a gap that you can flawless block, you can actually like block like the first 2 hits, and then you could like quickly release and then put it back, and then if they continue with the string, you can flawless block, but then if they don't, then you can actually get out of it. So that's like a little bit of an OS. So like if they don't continue the string, you could like mash out a poke or something. And Franco or Burrito Voorhees was saying that he doesn't really like that. Breakaway should either go away completely, or if not that, then it should be used once a round or once a match, and also the opponent should be stuck on the ground longer instead of instantly standing up upon landing. So yeah, just a little bit of a nerf to the breakaway mechanic. It's clearly a very strong one right now, and you can use it whenever you have 2 defensive meters, and he's saying that he wants you to only have access to it like once in a match or once in a round, one of the 2. All right, so next up, we're going to look at SonicFox. He made a lot of notes. I'm going to link this in the description. I'm not going to go over everything in detail because it's pretty lengthy, but I'll just point out some of the key stuff. He was saying that movement should be better, but he's not worried about it because Ed Boon said that movement will be better. Defensive tools he's talking about. So he's saying the first thing he's saying, flawless blocking is too strong right now. Maybe I can actually zoom in a little bit more. He's saying that flawless blocking is too strong right now. The reason behind that is that if you do a string or something like that would try to get you like 3% chip, if you flawless block correctly, you can kill someone for trying to do that string, and punish them for like 30 to 35% is what he's saying here. So he's saying like it's too good. Flawless blocking is too good, and it's not like at high level play. He's already doing this within like 2 days of playing the game. So like it's safe to say that once this game is out, all the pro players and whatever competitive players would be doing this consistently, and it might just not be good for the game. So he wants it to change so that maybe if you flawless block someone, you'll get like 5 to 10% damage if you like kill them instead of like 30 to 35%. So that's what he's saying there. Yeah, so he's saying he doesn't like the breakaway system at all, saying there's no risk and whatever, and like you can drop out of a combo and punish someone for it. He really doesn't like that at all. He's saying that it's also the whole breakaway mechanic makes it so that characters that launch you a lot will struggle more so than characters that have combos that stay grounded, because you can only break away from a combo when you're in the air. So that thereby makes characters that are on the ground, that do combos on the ground, kind of better. It was kind of like this as well. Like if we look at the flip out mechanic in Injustice 2, characters that made you flip, that launched you, made it so that you could flip out of their combo, right? But characters that did a combo that was doing all this crazy damage while you're on the ground and you can't do anything about it, it made their combo potential a little bit better. One example of this was like Black Canary, where she can get massive damage while you're like on the ground and not really able to flip out or do anything, and then by the time you can flip out, there's like not really a point because you've already taken 30%. So I can see what he's going for here. He's saying that he would prefer to have the classic Mortal Kombat combo breakers like MKX, because like when you break, you'll go back to neutral instead of like getting killed for starting a combo and then having someone flip out and then punish you for it. So yeah, that's what he's basically saying there. He says he's really not a fan of chip damage and chip kills, as more so I think than chip damage in general. Like he's saying that chip, like strings, shouldn't be able to chip you out and kill you to end a round. He thinks that you should have to like actually hit them with a hit, kind of similar to what they do in Street Fighter, where you can't really chip someone out unless it's with a critical, or what is it, critical art, I think that's what it's called. Either way, you have to use that to like chip someone out. Otherwise, you have to actually get that hit. And he kind of wants it to be like that in Mortal Kombat 11 as well. And he also says like fatal blows, I think he was saying like it would be fine for those to chip out, but the other stuff not really. The only thing that should chip out is fatal blows. Other than that, he also has said fatal blows, they need to be way more negative on block. He's saying like -40. He's like, it's a super that will delete me if I get hit that has armor. If you go for it and block it, like almost any other fighting game, you deserve to get hard punished. Let people be smart with fatal blows. Right now, you can kind of throw them out. Like, why not? He's saying dot damage, which is damage over time, shouldn't kill. There's a move that Scarlet has, like some red mist, and it's kind of like Scarecrow in Injustice 2, where he puts on his trait, and then if he's just near you, you just die if you're at like a pixel. And Scarlet has that ability as well, and Sonic says that shouldn't be in this game either. He says, other than that, NRS has something extremely special here. They just did everything else so perfectly. I really feel there is no fraudulence when I'm playing neutral in this game. It's either you have better footsies than me or die. I absolutely cannot wait to compete in intense matches with future competitors. I'm absolutely in love with the game, and I can't wait to get my paws on it in full come April 23rd. I just don't want to see people not stick with the game for silly things, as I stated above. Yeah, so that's what Sonic's overall impressions are. If you want to look at it in detail, there'll be a link in the description to look at that. I'm also going to look at Ominous over here, who has stated stuff as well. I'm not going to go over everything because, once again, it's a lot to go over, but I'll kind of summarize some of these points. He says that down 2 crushing blows he doesn't even like at all. He's saying it's like too much damage and whatever for like risk reward. It's just too good. Right now he's saying you can get too much damage, whatever, it's too strong. He's saying counter poking isn't that good right now. Not sure how this can be solved. A lot of people are pointing out this issue, so it's not just a personal problem. He's saying as well that the breakaway system he's not a fan of, and it's just not well designed. He's saying anti-airs aren't as strong as people say. I'm not sure who led the train on anti-airs being godlike, but that guy has to have a seat. It's not there yet. Yeah, so he's saying anti-airs aren't that good, and they should probably be better. Yeah, this is kind of random. Yeah, he's going off right here, talking about how the interactable that I was talking about earlier, where you can jump off the side of the screen and jump kick people, is way too strong, he's saying. So he's kind of ranting a little bit on that. He's saying meter comes back too fast in general. I said earlier, breakaway, there's not much of a risk because of this issue. Also, if the system stays, there needs to be cooldown reduction on all bar. Even when I'm spending meter to amplify a move, there isn't much reason not to, because I'm gonna get it back in like 10 seconds. So right now, for those of you that don't know, meter in Mortal Kombat 11 is unlike any other previous NRS game. It regenerates passively, so it just comes back on its own, and it comes back fairly quick, I think, is the consensus that most people would say, is that it comes back a little bit too quick. So there's not really a reason not to use it at times, because you just get it right back, is what he's saying. He's saying fatal blows have no risk, so that needs to be nerfed a bit. He's talked a little bit about movement dashing, but I think we all know that's going to be improved. He's saying Scarlet's slow ball is too good and take it out, and yeah. In closing, with all I said, I actually love the game. Like with all this, I still play maybe 20 hours minimum to this weekend. With previous games, I didn't spend that in a week, honestly. So this game has potential to be great. I love the neutral, the way the game looks, the way it feels. I appreciate internet staff and the hard work they've put in until this point. And hopefully they listen to the community as a whole on changes. All right, so that's Ominous's opinions. And last up, I'll look over at DJT over here. He says, the more MK11 thoughts, to keep it simple. People complaining about Scorp Telly, please stop. The so-called new combo breaker is fine, in my opinion. Fatal blows have been fine for me so far. Currently has been my fault all times I have been hit by them. I haven't been frauded out yet. So it seems to me like what DJT is saying is that everything's fine. He doesn't really have any issues at all with the stress test, and he seems to me that he'd be fine with it the game staying in its current state. All right, so that's the general consensus of the community. I would say, as far as my opinions go on the stress test, I'm pretty close in line with a lot of the stuff that Sonic said. I think the breakaway system, I'm not convinced yet that we should just completely get rid of it. I like the idea more of actually making it something that you only get like once around, maybe once a match if it's still too strong. But I think I would like if they just initially switch the breakaway mechanic to make it so that you can only use it once in a round, so that there's a little bit of a mind game of like, well, when is he going to use it? Is he going to use it here? Is he going to not? Because like if you use it and then you punish someone for it, but you can only use it once, maybe it's not overpowered. But then I also think in conjunction with that, like they should probably make the meter recharge a little bit slower, so that you don't even have access to the breakaway as frequently as you do right now. Because the thing is like, since this game is so neutral based, there's times where like both opponents will just be kind of like going back and forth, waiting for the other one to stick out a button, which is good because that's neutral, that's footsies. But the thing is like, while this is happening, you're just getting free meters. So like if one opponent already has max meter and the other opponent just finished like using a breakaway, and then now they're going back to this footsie game, this means both people are doing nothing, but one is just getting all their meter back. And I'm not a big fan of that, or like the thought of that you can just play this footsie game and then all of a sudden your meter is all the way back. And like, I just think it should take a little bit longer to come back. I think Mustard had said that all three characters feel strong, and I agree with that. And I really do hope that all the other characters are like that, because all the three characters seem to have like good utility and whatever. Like I mainly played Baraka and Scorpion in this beta. I didn't really like to use Scarlet that much, but Scarlet's very strong. Like all characters are very strong. I think most people would, like the top players would probably agree that Scarlet was the best character in the beta. If you want a tier list, here it is. Scarlet number 1. I don't know about Baraka, Scorpion. Maybe Baraka number 2. Maybe Scorpion number 3, because Scorpion's more unsafe, but whatever. That's generally what my thoughts are. Like I kind of touched upon my thoughts here and there when I was reading out the comments, so you kind of have a general understanding of what I think as well. But I am very happy with the stress test overall. I think the game looks beautiful. One thing I would like to see, or at least like tried out to see if it would work, that no one really touched upon, was backdashes not having invincibility frames anymore. I always thought it was nice. Like I thought it was good, like that backdashes in like Injustice and MK had invincibility frames, so you can get out of like a gap perhaps, or you can like backdash on wake up perhaps. I don't know if it not having invincibility frames right now was all part of their grand design, part of the plan of this game, but I personally would like that to return, or to at least test it and see how it would affect the game. But yeah, other than that, I'm quite happy with the game. I'm going to be having way more MK11 content coming to the channel because I do have a bunch more stuff recorded, and I'll be uploading that throughout the week and such like that. So subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and I'll see you in the next one. What sucks about this is so off topic. Only thing that sucks about the Beast Coast colors is that if I wear a shirt that has the green screen makes it so you don't even see it properly.